Oh my god. Hello, I forgot how complicated it was setting all this up, but hey, is this thing on? Are we still on? Is it still working? Happy New Year, happy 2024. Welcome back to another episode of Kiko's Corner. I'm your host, I'm Kiko Suarez. And if you're here, I love you. I appreciate you because you're one of the either the OGs that have been sticking by this channel for a while, or you're one of the people that follow me on TikTok or something, and you're one of the nice ones that support me in all the content and everything that I do, and I really appreciate you for it. But for the people that have been watching the Kiko's Corner, the I'm Kiko Suarez channel on YouTube, and also listen to this in the Spotify, the podcast, let me tell you. Reason for the lapse, because I checked and the last time I did a Kiko's Corner was a while ago. I'm pretty sure it was like, 4 months ago? Maybe the last one I did was, I think, in June, so 6 months ago, half of the year. And then I never did another Kiko's Corner. Did I post videos? Yes, I did. Quite a lot, actually. But did I do the Kiko's Corner? No. And the reason for it is just, it's nobody's fault but me, because I focus a lot on TikTok. Don't get me wrong, I grew a lot. Now I'm doing Instagram and I'm focusing more on social media. But besides that, there's really nobody but myself to blame, because I wasn't putting the time to the side. I wasn't doing my time management the way that I should have. And honestly, it's just there were times in the week that I was trying to force a podcast, and then after that I was like, I don't have an idea. I don't have what to talk about, which is a complete lie, by the way, because I post about 10 videos or something a day on TikTok. So there's always something to talk about. It's just a lot of things could be just like here and gone by then. So a lot of the topics that I want to talk about is just irrelevant by the time a video is worth it or a podcast is worth it. And I wasn't able to set up appointments, if you want to say, or times to interview or talk to people like Caesar, Rupak, Sisponge, Assam, Chromo, all of them, Melina, Kelsey, all of them, that I've been wanting to do it, but then it was lack of proactivity from my part to actually be like, hey, like, let's do it this time I can do it, can you do it, etc., you know. I mean, that is all on me. But this year, bro, I 100% will work on it. I will have no excuse to work on it. If you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you already know what I'm going to say. But if not, you definitely want to watch the next segment, because there's a big announcement that I have for you guys. If you read the title, you already know what it is. But before, let's just give a quick shout out to one of my sponsors, one of my biggest sponsors, actually, one that I'm very proud to set up with last year. Chalkboard is a DFS company, a DFS app. If you don't know what that is, it's just a fantasy betting company. Basically, you go to the app, you pick over or under on what you think a player is going to do. So if, let's say, you're into basketball, you think Steph Curry is going to go off and he's going to score 30 points or more, you can click that. But the beautiful thing about Chalkboard, and the reason why I'm so proud to work with them, is because you can move the line, something that in Florida is unheard of, because the only app that I know of is FanDuel, but that is not allowed in my state. So Chalkboard, what they do is you can move the line. So if you think 30 is a little too high, but you think 28, you can put 28 and go ahead and do that. And you can pair it with your players. You can bet. I bet for fun. Bet responsibly. You can use code Kiko. When you use the app, when you download the app, and on your first deposit, you'll get 100% matchup up to $100. Bro, free money. They do daily bonuses, and they also do weekly bonuses, in the sense of, like, they'll bring the lines down. So basically, they'll just give you a free bet. So it's really good. I'm very happy that I got partnered with them. And as always, shout out to Chalkboard, bro. I really appreciate them to give me the opportunity, and I'm working a lot with them. They are working on their soccer page, and when that happens, we're gonna be there. I already want that page to blow up even more. But besides that, let's go back to our normal segment, which, the big announcement. Your boy is moving to Spain. Yes, sir. I'm going to Madrid. I'm moving officially to Spain. So this is the thing. I'm saying I'm moving. I got accepted to La Liga Business School. La Liga, yes, the first division Spanish league. Long story short, I haven't told the story to anyone. Well, what a better time than my own podcast, right? My brother, so long story is I wasn't really happy with my current job. It's a insurance industry and nothing to do with my job, by the way, like my actual team or my coworkers or anything like that. I love them. And if anything, I wish them the best. But the industry as a whole, the market and everything is just awful. And overall, I was just having like, you know what, like this just getting like I was getting burned out by it, and I wasn't really finding a way to enjoy it anymore. And what I remember is I was having a conversation with my mom, just like, hey, I'm not feeling this. Like I feel like the writings on the wall, the industry is not doing best. Mother Nature just detests Florida insurance, and it's just very hard to qualify for to get a policy, let alone actually selling it. And then my mom bring it up just like, hey, how about you get your master's? And that's something that I never thought about. But then she goes like, why not? Like you have the opportunity, you're still young, there's nothing that ties you, you don't have children, you don't have a partner, a girlfriend or anything like that, you don't have your business is not your business, you work for somebody and you don't own your home, you rent it, so why wouldn't you do it? And at that point I was like, you know, right, you're absolutely right. But why should I go for it? Because if you guys didn't know, I went to culinary school. So I'm a hospitality management major and business management minor. And also I did nutrition and culinary arts. And I didn't want to go back to that industry, not at all. And I always said that if I went back to school, it would be for finances. But then my mom goes like, why don't you do marketing? And I'm like, why in the world would I do marketing? I didn't study that. I never did that. Why would I do that? And she goes like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, what do you mean I'm kidding you? She goes like, you have a whole TikTok. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you did that from scratch. If anything, you proved that you know marketing. You just don't have the title. And at that point, it clicked in my head. I'm like, you're actually right. Like I did do everything from scratch. I didn't do any industry or I didn't do any company. I just went from the ground up, and thankfully now I have an audience. And she's like, now imagine if you learn the tricks, if you have access to all the funding and everything. I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. Let me start looking around and see what happens, right? And then I tell my brother, God bless his heart, he already has his master's. He's younger than me, but his industry, his career path was way different than mine, and his career path requires the master's. And I told him just like, hey, dude, like, what do I even do? He's like, what do you mean? What do you even do? He's like, where do I start? Where do I start looking? Anything like that? And he goes like, well, you need to start applying for colleges, see if you get accepted. I'm like, oh, I cannot just sign up for it. It's not how it works. He's like, my guy, this is not like a job. This is not like anything. This is not like, hello, I want to take masters. Those are his words, by the way, not mine. And he goes like, you cannot just show up and getting like accepted into it. You have to go through the process. And I'm like, I don't even know what schools I want to look at. I don't even want to know. I don't even know where to start. He's like, you know what? Relax. I already went through it. I'm going to help you out. And let me fix the saturation because my lips were super bright for some reason. He goes like, you know what? Let me help you out. I'll take care of everything. You just got to put your face and don't let me down in the interviews, right? And I'm like, okay, you do what you got to do. I'll be here, right? My brother applied for me or not even apply. He reached out to 3 schools, right? He just used my email and said like, hey, I like the program. I would like to get some more information, please, etc., etc., right? It was 3. I forget the other 2. The other 2 reached out to me. I sent an email back, but it didn't go to anything, right? It didn't amount to anything once La Liga Business School showed up. And what happened is La Liga Business School, I get an email, right, from one of the gentlemen, right? I'm not going to say any names. But, hey, like, what's up? Like, thank you for reaching out. Let's schedule a time for a call for you to get more information and we can review everything and I can answer whatever questions you have. I'm like, absolutely. What time it works? Because you're in Europe, here in Florida. So there's a 6-hour difference, right? And we fixed the time. I had to do it through work, which, newsflash, if you never done this, it's a very big headache when you're doing your own thing and then you cannot tell your coworkers and everything what's going on. Only my boss knew that I was interested in pursuing my education, and I wasn't gonna tell everyone what's going on until I had a clear answer, and she knew that. So one of the days I had to like say I made up a story that I was gonna work with La Liga for because of my TikTok. And since they know I do TikTok, they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, great." But like I know she, my manager, knew the whole time what I was doing. But then after that, I have the first interview, right, or the first call, which to my knowledge was just a information call, right? I was just gonna get information, but then turns out we say hi, right? We're talking. He goes like, "Hey, just to let you know, Francisco, this call is not only a informative call. This is actually a qualifying call." And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, "Yeah, no, like right now I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions just to see if you're even a good fit, if it's even worth it to send you to the next round, right?" And I'm like, my heart sunk right there and there, right? Because I was like, holy, like I could mess up my acceptance to this straight away if I'm not careful, if I'm not careful what I say. And he's like, just ask me a couple questions. Ask me like, "Hey, what's your background? What have you done? How do you done it? Like, where do you go to school and everything?" I just answer everything. Like, "Hey, same thing I just told you guys like 5 minutes ago. I have my hospitality degree. I have my business degree. I speak three languages: the Spanish, English, and French. Even though French is very, very rusty because I don't get nobody to talk to. I do TikTok. I do social media. That's my background when it comes down to marketing. I did it from scratch. I get millions of views. I have 87,000 followers, and I love the sport. I love football. I love soccer. I love all sports. And if I was to get the degree, it's just an advantage to get me in the industry. Blah 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 blah." He's like, "Okay, you seem like a great fit. Thank you very much. We gotta set you up with the sporting director, and then he'll be the one accepting you or not." I'm like, "Okay, I already made it, right? I made it through the first round." A week goes by, and I think it was like a Thursday, and my appointment, my call with him was on Monday, right, or Tuesday at like 10 a.m. again because he had to be early because he was late for them already. I get on the call. I'm nervous, dude. I'm nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna cap. I was nervous, my guy. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know where to look at. I didn't know if he already knew me, if he already checked my background or anything. I didn't know. But when I get on the call, it's not the sporting director that picks up. It's the first guy. And the first guy goes like, "Hey, Francisco, you good? Everything good to go? I just wanted to make sure that the call was ready and that you were on the other side. And now I'm gonna present you to the sporting director, and you'll be all set, and you'll have the interview with him." Bro, so much weight came off my back because the best example that I give people is that when you're gonna meet a friend of a friend, way easier when your friend is the one introducing you, right? Like, "Hey, Michael, this is Kiko, the friend that I told you about." It's way easier than just go to Michael and say like, "Hey, Michael, my name is Kiko. I don't know if Julian told you about me," right? Like that is a big difference. So when I saw him and he said like, "Hey, I'm just gonna let him know that you're here and he's gonna get on the call," I was like, "Okay, I don't have to break the ice out or anything like that. The ice is already broken. I just need to talk. I just need to do my thing." He gets on the call. We introduce ourselves. We're talking, right? And he goes like, "Okay, well, Francisco, I have one main question." And it was just one question, legitimately. One question. "Where do you see yourself in 5 years if you were to get in the program? And why is the program important to you?" Bro, I've been asked that question so many times in work interviews that I just went by it, bro. I just took the information and I just ran with it because honestly, again, I love sports. I love the industry. I love doing social media. And the whole question was me just telling them my goals. And the only restructure that I had to do was, "Hey, my goal for TikTok is the same thing, is the same goals that I have for La Liga Business School. I want to succeed. I want to be one of the biggest ones. and that being in the marketing industry or the TikTok industry, and then me being one of the people that even me getting my foot because of La Liga Business School into everything through TikTok allows me to do everything and just get the knowledge and get the networking and everything. And if that allows me just to even get a smith of connections and knowledge into what it is behind the scenes for a business like La Liga and whatever experiences I get, that would be enough. And the guy just told me, like, dude, this is a very small class. It's only 30 people to 25 people that make it every semester. And we don't want to spend the spot on someone that will take it as just a marketing class. We want someone that, like, it's because of sports. That is because of he wants to be in the, or they want to be in the industry. They want to be a part of it, blah, 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 blah. And he just told me, bro, like, or Francisco, you shine, you torch a light whenever you talk about sports. And I can tell you love it. I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, perfect. And then we started talking like about life, everything Madrid and everything, how long he did everything, how long he's been with La Liga and everything. At that point, I knew I was set because you don't sign up. And this is for my people that do interviews. The second the conversation becomes personal about family and everything, career-wise and everything, and they're asking you if you have more questions, you're pretty much set. Unless you screw up somewhere, you're pretty much set because that means you build the rapport, you did everything right. And at that point, it's really more about like they want to make sure that they are not gonna lose you in a sense. But at that point, I wasn't nervous anymore, but at the same time, I was anxious because after that call, he couldn't tell me if I was accepted or not. I had to wait for the email 4 in the morning on like a Wednesday, and then I got it, and then I was like, okay, accepted. Now we move to getting everything. And now I'm gonna tell you the process of moving to a whole other continent has been extremely easy, but nervous and anxious. And I don't want to say it's been easy, but I don't want to say it hasn't been hard. But like the hard part has come because of the visa, the student visa. So getting an apartment, I was blessed then that a friend of my brother knows someone that owned an apartment that they wanted to rent. We reached out, and since they're a friend of a friend, we didn't have to really talk too much. They're just like, hey, let's agree for a price. Just put a reservation, a deposit, and the apartment is yours. We did it, and then we're doing that, right? Then, but that situation is not gonna be the same for everyone. I'll be honest. That situation, the apartment should be one of the biggest headaches. I just happen to be blessed with the connections and friendships that we have, and that came about. But the apartment alone should have been one of the biggest headaches of the whole thing. You have to get, for my non-Spanish listeners, to the people that watch me and are not from Spain, you need to get a student visa. Student visa requires you to get a lot of information that I didn't know. I learned a new word, apostillar in Spanish. And that is the craziest thing that, and most unnecessary thing that I didn't know existed. Basically, for the people that don't know, you have different levels of documents or proof of documents. There's notarizing, which basically is just proof that is a legal document to the eyes of the United States. But there's a level above it, which is the apostillar. What that means is it's above notarizing because it will get recognized by other countries at that point because of that the agreement of The Hague, that different countries approve that like all the documents that have the postal are recognized in all those countries without having to get notarized in those countries, which is insane. I make an appointment for the Spanish embassy, right? I showed up and I'm thinking I'm already set, right? I'm thinking I've done enough and I've been looking at the website and everything. I got kicked out in 10 minutes. They told me you legitimately don't have enough information to even start the process. I'm like, what am I missing? What are you not missing? Basically was the answer. And turns out I had a lot of information already. I just had to print it out because I didn't know you had to print it out. I thought I could just bring it on my phone and just forward it to an email. You can't. I didn't know. But long story, the list goes, you need to fill out a formulary, you need health insurance, you need your acceptance letter, you need a financial backing or a financial proof, which at that point, it's either the full time that you're there, you need to show that you have the money in your bank account or someone can financially help you. Thankfully, both situations that we were taken care of. And I forget what the other thing is. Your birth certificate, your valid passport, your IDs, and there's something else. But and the most important thing, because that's the one that is giving me the headache. You need to get a criminal background check by the FBI. If you don't know how to do that, it's whenever you go get your fingerprints. So you go to, I use, this is not sponsored whatsoever, right? But the website that I use was PrintScan. And PrintScan, I made the appointment, right? And what you do is you go to somewhere that allows their services. You go take your fingerprints, and then they're gonna do immediately a background check through the FBI. And the FBI shows it. I already received the email saying that I'm not a criminal. Surprise, surprise. I know I wasn't a criminal, but I need to show that to Spain, right? Spain, at that point, needs a postal copy, right? For the university, for La Liga Business School, I already went to Tallahassee to the Department of State to get my diploma apostilled. I wish I had known that I could apostille the criminal record in Tallahassee, or at the same time that it was going to be required, right? But then the lady that was helping me goes like, "Oh, you cannot go to Tallahassee." I'm like, "Why not? I did it for my diploma and the school took it." Yeah, that's the school. This is the Spanish government. And the Spanish government needs the official, like the highest level of apostille you can. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, where do I go? She's like, "Oh, you need to send it to the Washington Department of State." I'm like, "Ma'am, when does my school start?" She looks at the acceptance letter. February 15th. I'm like, "Yeah. How long does it take to get my document apostille if I was to order it or if I was to mail it and get it back?" "About 3 weeks." "How long does the student visa process take?" "About 3 weeks." "So you're telling me I will have to wait 3 weeks to get an apostille and then hope 3 weeks are fast enough to get my student visa?" She's like, "Yeah, there's no way you can do that because you only have 4 weeks or 5 weeks technically." I'm like, "Okay. So now I need to go to Washington." Is that what you're telling me? She's like, "Basically." Okay. Thankfully, as you guys know, my brother lives in Washington. So I'm going to crash in his place. And what I'm going to do is once I get the criminal record, I need to go to Washington. I need to get that apostille. It takes about 2 to 3 business days for some reason. I don't know. I need to get that translated to Spanish by somebody else because it cannot be by me. It has to be by a professional. Then I need to go back to Miami because the Spanish consulate is only Miami, which is crazy. The Spanish consulate is for Georgia, Florida, and some other state. They cannot go anywhere else. They have to go there, which is insane to me. But you need to get all those documents. I go to Miami, put that in, or put all the documents that they ask for, and then hope for the best that we have enough time for me to go to the school before it starts and I have everything set up. So that's really my headache. That's really what I'm worried about. But at the same time, it is what it is. Like I say, it's been easy on the complicated parts. It has been very easy, and now I just got to deal with a lot of tedious things. But if you're listening, we're 24 minutes in. If you're listening to this and you wanna go to Europe to school or anything like that, don't do it like me, because I'm rushing, right? I only have enough time to do everything, but that's because I got accepted very late into the process, and now I have to move at 1,000 miles per hour because I only have so much time. Meanwhile, if you get accepted, let's say for a program that starts in June, just start doing everything very early, and you're not gonna be stressing out whatsoever, because you're gonna be able to find everything in time. And maybe the last thing that you will be able to find is the apartment. But eventually, we all find everything works out at the end of the day. I'm looking at my notes just to make sure. Oh, I didn't even explain what La Liga Business School is. So La Liga Business School is a school that was created by La Liga themselves. The sporting director explained me that about 6 years ago, about that time, I might got the numbers wrong. You can Google it yourself, but I'm giving you like a summary, right? About 6 years ago or so, the La Liga clubs were saying like, hey, the experts that are on the field are not the experts that we want, because they're experts, they're marketing experts, but they're not La Liga oriented, or they're not soccer, football related. They're just marketing. They just treat it like a normal marketing thing rather than a sports marketing thing. In La Liga, what they did, they took the challenge to create those experts. The way that they explain is that they're creating the Navy SEALs for the marketing industry, or for the sports marketing industry, and they just want to mold us in a way that it will help every single industry or every club in the industry. So doesn't only have to be La Liga. It doesn't only have to be soccer. It can be American football. It can be the NBA, basketball. It can be tennis. It could be F1, GT, gaming, anything like that. As long as it's sports oriented and any idea, that's what they're building us for. And what they do is the program lasts about 8 months, and then they guarantee you that you'll be working with either La Liga or with a club for 6 months. Which, of course, when I heard that, when I was reading the brochure and I saw that, I was like, my God, this is, I don't know how my brother found this. I don't know if, I don't even know what he did to find it. Like if he Googled La Liga school, if he knew about it, or he was just looking for marketing and he happened to find it. But I was like, this is catered to me. This is like me in a nutshell. And then I already told you the whole process. But then that's really the whole idea. And the program, the cool thing about it, it's like I said, it's gonna be 8 months from February to October, and then the 6 months of work. But during those 8 months of school, of purely studying, right, there's 2 trips, or technically 3. There's 3 trips. One's gonna be around Spain, so to go see other clubs in La Liga and in La Segunda División, the second tier, and also just work with them and all that good stuff. But also we're gonna go into the UK. We're gonna go see Premier League teams, the Premier League. We're gonna go see Wimbledon for tennis, and they told me we were gonna go see other businesses in the UK, right? Which I'm very, very excited for. And the third one is we're gonna come to the United States, to New York. We're gonna go work with the NFL, with the NBA, possibly the MLS, possibly the MLB. I don't know. They just told me we there's three trips that are included in the program, and those 3 trips is for you to see the different aspects of the industry and what you can do, and who you're going to be working with, and you're going to meet experts, etc., etc. Again, that is me. That is Kiko working in the industry that has been thriving for the last year. And I was so excited, bro. I'm over the moon on the idea. I have in my notes here process for the moving. Basically, right now, one headache that I'm having to deal with is I'm selling everything because I cannot break my lease. I have a roommate, you guys know Camicho, and he's gonna be staying here. That he is not his fault that I got accepted, so it's not like I'm gonna break the lease and just eat the cost when it's cheaper to actually just keep this room empty. So I'm just gonna be selling everything, and then I'm gonna be moving to Spain whenever the time comes, whenever the whole visa situation is figured out. But the thankful thing is that I already have an apartment lined up, so now it's just about like getting the tickets and everything and all that good stuff. My brother's gonna actually go with me for at least a week and help me not be alone, because even though I do know some people in Spain, it's not like they're my friends, they're just acquaintances, so I need to create relationships and everything. So he's gonna go with me and help me out, or just spend time with me, and also like just be a tourist and like go around the city and see what's cool. Even though I've been to Madrid before, he hasn't, so that would be a cool experience. And then after that, the school will start, and we're gonna do everything. And the last thing I want to talk about, goals for 2024 in this channel. The school obviously will be my priority because I'm going there for that exact reason. So I'm definitely gonna focus 60% of my time on that. But there's also the fact that it's only at nights. It's only from the 17 hours to the 21 hours, which I think that equals to 5 to 9, whatever that is. 5 to 9. I know it's a 4 hour class from Monday through Thursday. So in my case, this year, I want to take content creation, social media, YouTube, TikTok, everything to a whole new level. Because now, my day to day, from 9 a.m. when I wake up all the way to 4, and then I start going to school, and then I work from that, and then I get back at home at 10 or whatever, will be eat, breathe, sleep, content creation. That is it. I'm only going to be working on that. I'm only going to be focusing on that. And I really have a lot of hopes. I want to bring the Kiko's Corner back. I want to make it a weekly thing, maybe even a bi-weekly thing, 2 episodes a week. I want to start breaking down more episodes. I want to stream more. I want to focus on TikTok, my biggest platform. I want to. I already have the sponsorship or the collaboration with Chalkboard. I want to work with other companies. I want to work with a club. I have so many goals this year, and really, really, I gotta say thank you. Because without you guys, I really wouldn't be in any way, shape, or form in this opportunity. So I need to say thank you. I'm very grateful for you guys. But my goals is I want to grow this maybe to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I don't know. I want to hit 150,000 on TikTok. I want to grow Twitter. I want to grow Instagram. I want to work with companies. And I just want to do more. I want to do more. And then for this channel, again, like I said, I want to bring the Kiko's Corner back at least once a week. But also I want to start posting more videos. I want to vlog because now I'm going to actually be in a country and I will have the time to do interesting things every day. Maybe not every day because life is boring. Life is monotone unless you actually plan it. But I want to travel more. I'm going to be in that side of the world where Europe is more than Texas. Like, do we understand that? I mean I might be wrong. I know Texas is huge and most of Europe fits in Texas, but the fact that I could go to Portugal, I could go to France, I could go to Germany, I could go to England to watch different games, to meet you guys. It's one of my main goals, and just to create content and work with other creators and everything. I'm very, very focused on it. I'm very, very anxious and looking forward to it. But it won't come easy. It won't just be given to me. I gotta keep my head down and grind. We already made it this far. I'm not gonna stop. And if anything, this is just the beginning in my eyes. But I think we already hit all the topics that I wanted to talk about. I really appreciate you all. If you made it this far to the video, make sure to drop a like. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about anything, or if you want to know anything about the trip, or any video ideas you want me to do. But as always, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter. That's about it. There's no other social medias that I know. As always, use code Kiko in Chalkboard. Get your 100% match deposit. And yeah, have an amazing day. Love you all. And peace. A la Madrid.